Welcome back, my darling. Hello, my love. Today we're going to be talking about 6 ways that you can jump into your feminine energy when you're feeling burnt out by your masculine energy. Number 1, get a morning routine in. Look, I know some of us are super busy or we have kids. If you can even do one thing in the morning to ground yourself, it will make a difference. Do not disturb your peace if you can help it. For me, I'm realizing this more as I grow older and I get busier. Sometimes I want to jump straight into what it is that I need to do for the day. To wake up, I go straight into my messages or my WhatsApp and Instagram or YouTube. But once you start that, you have not taken the time to calibrate or recalibrate who you are, what your mission is for the day, what your intentions are, how you feel about yourself. You have not even checked in. It's in the silence, it's in the slow moving in the morning, the quietness of washing your face or whatever it is that you do, that you get to hear yourself and see how your mental state is doing. All of us, irrespective of our sex or gender, we wake up with different things that need processing. And especially as women, especially as people that menstruate, it is imperative that we find a moment in the morning to just check in. If you cannot do that, I understand. I'm not a parent, so I cannot judge you. I cannot tell you with full accuracy what is best for you. But if you can just find one thing to anchor yourself in who you are and how you're going to treat yourself for the rest of the day, then do that. Whether it is a particular way that you have your coffee, or it's the fact that you make your bed before you do anything, the fact that you will do a slick bun, or you will find a moment to do a 10-minute YouTube yoga session, whatever it is, a 2-minute meditation, whatever, finding a little bit of groundedness in your morning is going to help you so much. For me, I have noticed that I prefer not to message anybody back first thing in the morning, because for me that is energy output, and I like to try and make my mornings as energy input as possible. So for me that looks like, what's on my list of things to do? How can we get ready as quickly as possible, because I find it very boring and I just want it to be over and done with? What podcast can I listen to? Or is it a morning where I need just music to wake me up and make me feel alive? But checking in and having that time where you just pay attention to yourself is so important. And if you can't find it in the morning, try and find it throughout the day. Little moments where you just ask yourself, how am I feeling? Yeah, okay, I'm fine, I guess. No, but how am I feeling? Am I okay? What's that little thing that's bothering me? Like, I feel angry about something. What is that? It's in these quiet moments that you get to treat yourself. Because if you don't pay attention to yourself, that's going to come up in funny ways. You're going to have a random outburst at somebody, or you're going to fall sick and you're going to be like, oh yeah, it's because I haven't been taking care of myself. It's going to catch up with you, is what I'm trying to say. As women, or as people that are easily burnt out by masculine energy, this often happens because we're so used to just pouring out. What can I give? What can I give? What can I give? Okay, but you also got to give to you. You're people too, you count too. And you may not feel that way for whatever reason, whether it's just how your life is set up, or because of the beliefs you grew up with, or whatever trauma you have. Look, trauma is something that you can deal with in therapy, but you can still take actions to show that you're going to show up for yourself, or that you're going to care for yourself. One thing that I've noticed this past week as I've been off from work and it's just been me by myself and my lonesome, I have realized how easy it is to get miserable and to get all caught up in work and everything that I have to do. And I've noticed that just getting out the house and going for a walk, literally just like going to my local coffee shop, grabbing a coffee, even if I just look a little, like I don't have makeup on, nothing, like just my same old grey fluffy hat and the same stuff, same clothes. I repeat the same 2-3 outfits that just make me look presentable, and I go for a quick 20-minute walk with a podcast. It just perks me up a little bit. It makes me feel like I can handle my day a little bit better. So if you can find little, I guess, pockets of peace like that, then do it. Shout out to Nabella Noor for giving me that saying. And then I think it was everywhere on Instagram and like socials. But I definitely saw her do it first. That's just me. But yeah, little pocket of peace. Little moments where you just get to go, ah, yeah. Or like, maybe I am on the right track. Like, yes, I'm a mess, but I'm on the right track. Or maybe I'm not the worst mother in the world, even though I feel like I'm losing it, you know? Okay, so the second thing is giving yourself time. This in itself is to do with time management, which is quite a masculine thing. But what you have to recognize is your masculine frame will allow your feminine to flow. So it's sort of like how a sort of career, for example, like your career is something you would build most likely in a very masculine way, but it would fund your soft girl feminine lifestyle. So recognizing that you can harness your masculinity to, I guess, give space to your femininity for it to flow and flourish. It's so important to recognize the power that that has for you to recharge. This basically just means giving yourself time for things. Just think boundaries, getting to bed early, leaving an extra 10 minutes earlier so that you are somewhere on time and you're not rushing and running and your makeup's all sloppy and your hair's a mess. It could mean saying no to that extra social event because you need to spend an evening in with yourself doing nothing. Sometimes, I speak to people at work and they're like, oh, I'm taking some time off. And I'm like, oh, cool, are you going anywhere? And they say, no, I'm just doing nothing, whether it's a man or woman. I'm like, great, sometimes that's all you need. Truly, sometimes all you need is rest. And I think it's so easy for any of us to just get caught up in, some people like to say, the rat race. And I guess, yes, you could describe it that way at times. But we get so caught up with doing and doing and doing. And what you need to remember is femininity is about being. It's about being able to sit with yourself and be present with yourself and observe. And that's kind of, I guess, a form of meditation as well. You want to give yourself time to do that. So use your masculine frames of time management to give yourself time to rest. Number 3, this one's going to sound a little strange, but bear with me. Receive people with love. It is kind of, in the beginning, it can be hard to jump into, but trust me, it's worth it. So the way you do this is start by seeing the good in people. For example, I wrote this video out when I was at work. I'd been working a lot, and on my off days I was rushing with my uni work because I had so much of it and I was working a lot. And so I was just feeling so drained. Like, yes, I was wearing a dress, but I didn't feel feminine. I didn't feel like I could flirt or be my natural, like, maybe, okay, flirting's not your top priority, but I couldn't be the version of myself that I felt lightest and happiest in, and the version of myself that felt like she was most capable and happy to be here, basically. And I just said, okay, let me just start by receiving each of my customers with love. Even if they give me a problem, even if there's whatever it is, I'll do it bit by bit. I'll ask them how they're doing. So you do have to push a bit in the beginning. It's going to feel unnatural. You're just going to be like, I'm already tired enough. Like, why do you want me to do more? No, ask people how they are. Have a smile on your face. It's going to feel fake at first. Yes, but sometimes to get into femininity, you just need to do the actions, and then that will create a sort of feedback. I'm going to touch on this again later. Truly just embrace the feminine energy. I think I'm going to combine this with like my next point basically, but let people help you. It's a very feminine thing, receiving energy. If someone wants to help you, you're going to be like, no, I can handle it. I've been handling everything this whole day, and this person's stupid and that person's stupid, and I've been doing this and I can do this and I do everything and that's my superpower. Like, if you do this, then what am I doing? Like, no, your existence is still valid if you're not doing something. Let people help you. Let people help you. You're worth that. Come on. Like, we can, like, community, embrace community, be kind. And the way that you can look at this whole thing is that it's kind of like a stiff muscle that you're relaxing. Okay, when you go for a massage and then, I don't know if this is really technically a muscle, but like, when they find a knot and then they're like, and you're like, oh my god, like this hurts. Or they like maybe put their elbow in or whatever, but they sort of like knead away at the stiffness, and that overall is what's best for you in the long run. It's kind of like that. And so basically my next point is literally just do the feminine things, laugh more, be more playful. And you're probably like, you don't understand the level of stress I'm dealing with. Yeah, sure, maybe I don't, but I do understand stress. I do understand stress. I've had so many times where, I think, even to be honest, growing up, so I've mentioned this, I think, God, I don't know which video, but I have, when I was young, my natural state was very feminine, very naturally feminine and girly. I love my dresses, I love my heels. Boys were like another species, but they were still, when they weren't bullying me like idiots, they still treated me delicately, as much as they could, because they could see that I was precious, if that makes sense. And I was very happy for them to take the lead. Like, I never saw it as this is me, like, under the age of 10, just to be clear. I had some trauma happen, I had life happen, and that hardened me and made me into more of a masculine person. And you know what? I don't mind, because I really love who I am and the strength that I have within me. I'm able to harness a certain strength that a lot of people can't. And I really love and respect that about myself. Sometimes I do, like, falter, and I slip up and I act like a child, and, like, I'm still working through that. But it's been a real strength for me to learn how to harness a certain masculinity about me, a problem-solving mindset, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate. And so what happens is, in moments of stress, I'm very good at jumping into my masculine energy as a sort of form of protection. I know how to solve things from a masculine standpoint. I think as I've gotten older and I've worked in a variety of environments, I've learned how to harness both the feminine and the masculine, and that's another thing I really love about myself. But you might be able to relate to that, where your fallback is masculinity. Truly, sometimes an opposing energy is what the situation calls for. If you're feeling burnt out by masculinity, what makes you think masculinity is going to be the solution? Sometimes you really just need to sit and do nothing. And you need to laugh at the ridiculousness of the situation. And you need to connect and get into your heart, breathe slower, and look at the person in front of you and see how you can connect with them. And then take a minute to recharge. Pat yourself on the back. It's a sort of it's like a nurturing energy. It's very beautiful. And, I talk about this in other videos about femininity and how it, I guess, in the relation of men and how it attracts men. But being able to be present with a man is one thing, yes, and it's a very attractive trait. To be able to listen to him and understand him and make him feel like whatever. But femininity is also presence with yourself. I think sometimes when you're a naturally more feminine leaning person and you continuously act in a masculine way, you kind of feel like you're distancing yourself from yourself. You have not taken the time to observe yourself. You have not taken the time to, sort of clean the cobwebs and sort of be like, oh, how are you doing? It becomes a neglect at a certain point. So what you really want to do is be able to come back to yourself, and that one of the quickest ways to do that is just laugh more. Be in your body, be playful, be present with what is in front of you. Sometimes, literally, just being excited to see someone and happy to be in their presence is enough. Really, this kind of connects back to the receiving people with love thing. For example, I don't know what your setup is, but say, your husband's been driving you up the wall, for example, and you feel so misunderstood because you've been doing all of the work, you feel, and you don't know how to get through to him, and, to be honest, it's not my expertise. I'm not married, so, but say he comes home at 5 or 6 every single day, and dinner's ready, and you're exhausted, and all of that, or whatever, and that's your setup, and you've got, 3 kids under the age of 5, and you're just, so stressed. Maybe notice him today. Look, this is just an example, again, I don't know the extent, and this is your relationship, but I'm trying to give an example, which is, notice him today. And you may not feel like it, but just go up to him and hug him. Give him a nice, long hug. Inhale his scent. Say, I love you. He's gonna be like, what? What did I do? But that warmth, that reception, that, gratitude for his presence, you're just going to feed off of each other's energy, and that can be one of the... And I hope that your husband is a safe, lovely person, but if he receives it well, you'll sort of melt into each other. And in that state, of course, you're going to feel more feminine, because if you've just gone and received him with love, he's receiving this love. He's going to appreciate it because he feels appreciated, and then it just softens things a little bit. Showing gratitude for people's presence is super helpful. And I've noticed when I'm at work, one thing I do is I just go and say hi. and I start a conversation, even if I'm knackered, you know, I'll say, oh, hi, how you doing? How you doing, lovely? Or I'll just go up to someone and I'll say, hi, gorgeous, how you doing? And I'm like drained on the inside, but I'll just go and be complimentary, you know, a little flirty, a little cute. And they'll tell me, yeah, not bad, how about you? And I don't say, yeah, I'm fine. No. Femininity is also being okay with your feelings. Now, of course, we're not trauma dumping in a professional environment, but unless it depends on your situation and the time and the person. I personally don't, but anyway. You know, I just say, you know what, I'm knackered. This customer said blah, 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 and I've just really had it, and I'm just, you know, and I tried this, but it didn't work, and it really got to me, and then you can connect. This person might be like, oh, I'm really sorry, or, you know, and maybe they won't, but that's like 1%. Really just like sort of keeping it real. And even if we take myself out of the work environment, my local coffee shop, I've had people there, you know, when I go in and I start a conversation, hi, how are you? And then they ask, how you been? How's life? It's the coffee shop I used to work at back in the day. And I just keep it real. Do you want to know, I'd been in such a masculine, stressed space. You know, it's going to sound so silly. But I had a disagreement with my mom. And I just felt like so like, ugh, like I already have enough going on, like why, you know? And I go there and, you know, my ex-colleague, who we haven't seen each other in like years basically, and he's like, so how's life? And I'm like, you know what, I want to move out, I've had it. And then we chat a little bit, and then he shares with me his tactic of living at home, which is just truly stop trying to start a fight, or stop trying to get your point across. That's not the point if you want to survive. Just say, yes, I agree. Yes, you want me to do this? Yes, no problem. We had a good laugh, and, you know, it was just a joke about like foreign, with all due respect, like foreign parents or just parents, and like just trying to get through. And, you know, he put a smile on my face, and he actually, me just softening and talking and just being honest about myself, my experience, and where I'm at, it allowed someone to be there for me, for us to connect over something. I think sometimes when we're in masculine overdrive, we're usually doing it from a place of, I gotta handle this. We have our walls up as well, and we feel like no one else is gonna understand. And sometimes it just takes doing the opposite of what you've been doing for so long for the sort of dam to break, and for you to realize it's not that big a deal. And yes, the house is a mess, but everybody's happy and healthy, and that's all we need, you know? And so really just being able to laugh at the mess can be so helpful, and often the quickest way to do that is by connecting with another human. Seeing things and people with joy, it's so transformational. I think, especially personally as someone who's dealt with social anxiety, I can get so in my head. And this is not just in social anxiety, but like say I'm at the gym and I would think like, oh my god, what do these people think of me? And I probably look like this, and I'm probably grunting too much. This nonsense. But when you come at it from like, okay, I'm actually happy to see this person. I saw their Instagram post, it was super inspirational. Let me just go check in on them as a human being and see how they're doing. When you are happy to see someone, it makes them more likely to be happy to see you as well. Sometimes when you have your walls up, you block your own blessings too as a feminine woman, because you're constantly in pursuit and protection. But when you step into your feminine and you get in touch with your energy, you remember how much you can genuinely just attract, and just by being yourself and being authentic. And I'll be honest, you know, even sexually, there have been times where I'm so in my head and I'm thinking, oh my god, I've probably gained so much weight because I haven't been exercising as much. You know, I'd be thinking and thinking and thinking. But I have to remind myself, like, this person, if they didn't want to be here, they wouldn't be. They're happy to be here. Do you understand how privileged they are to be in your presence? How privileged they feel to be in your presence? Like, they wouldn't do all of this pursuit just for the sake of it. Really, just letting myself enjoy, that's always been the sexiest thing. And truly, guys generally do not care about your size. Usually it's boys that would be like picky and giving a crap, immature, like men children at most. But a true man is not gonna care. He's more into your confidence, your aura. 100%. Like, I have dated and I've seen, I've seen some themes and trends, and truly, if you can, at most do your makeup nice, okay? Have long hair, laugh at his jokes, and be confident in yourself and give no fucks, like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And I think sometimes we overthink it and we think we need to be perfect in order to be worthy and deserving, but you don't. That's a lie you're telling yourself. It's actually, and it's a lie that comes from, like, the media and stuff, and that's a whole other topic. Anyway, second to last point, big deep breaths and affirmations. Ground yourself. I'm going to be honest, I had to do that before this video because I've been running around like a headless chicken. This is the third video I'm filming back to back, and it does get tiring, and I'm not complaining. Obviously, I'm very happy to do this. Could you hear my ankles click? I'm very happy to do this and to help and to perhaps provide value. And of course, it's very fun getting, dressed up. I don't know if you can see it from here, but no, you probably can't. I put gold, and then I tapped, this is like Urban Decay. I put like a tealish on the outside, and then I did blue gold, and I did more gold in the middle, and I did purple, and then you can't yeah, it's fun getting dressed up, but it's exhausting. And I've been kind of putting this video off for a minute because I just felt like it's so ironic, like, who am I to make this video? And then this past week I realized I actually did end up implementing some of these things and how much it did resonate, and I actually felt like making the video would be a really nice reminder for myself as well, and it has been. And I guess that's vulnerability too. Vulnerability can help. It's in the feminine nature to be vulnerable and express that at times we're not, warriors, if you will. Like, and okay, not that, okay, I'm still a warrior, but like I'm not always in fight mode. Sometimes I do need help. All of us do, but that's more, I think, of a feminine energy to be like, I'm vulnerable. And I'm not coming here to say that, be like, guys, attack. Attack me. What's it? Belittle me. Yeah, no, guys, I'm good, thanks. But, a comfortability with your humanity. I think that's feminine too. Just being like, I feel like shit today. That's okay. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's okay. Sort of acceptance of your vulnerability. But getting back to what I was saying, big deep breaths and affirmations. I was downstairs and I was taking pictures for my last fit, and I was like, gosh, I'm starving, I haven't eaten, which is not something I'd recommend really, but I'm just doing it because I really want to get this, like, I want to get my work done, then I want to sit and relax. And actually, quickly, before I forget, I've been wanting to go see Wicked for a long time now. But my sister's already seen it with her friends, which is fine, obviously. My mom's working, my dad's not interested, and like the guy, well, I ended something with a guy and he wouldn't be interested anyway, and this other guy I'm dating is abroad, and I wouldn't want to see it with a guy. I would want to like see it with family or like a friend, but I'm already seeing one of my friends tomorrow for dinner, and like I want to talk to her, to be honest. I don't want to just sit and watch a movie. So I've been thinking of solo dating it, but I didn't have any time because I've been working. So I was trying to get it in today, but it wasn't working. And then my dad had to take the car to get the clutch fixed for the whole day, so I couldn't even go to the gym. Like, it happens. Like, we have our seasons. Obviously, this isn't to the full extent, but it's an example of how I've been trying to find a pocket of me taking care of myself to plan a little date, if you will. And it hasn't been happening. And so I said, okay, what I'll do today, I'll hit the shops that I can walk to, and I will get myself a little dessert for the end of the day. Now, yes, that being said, it is coming up to midnight, but I did go to the shops. I went to the shops, I got myself a little something, and I am very much looking forward to my dinner, which I'm going to have, and I'm going to watch. I started it yesterday, but I was like, no, I'm going to save it for tomorrow, and I'm going to give myself that time, and I'm going to watch, I think it's called The Idea of You, that movie with Anne Hathaway, and is it Nicholas Gal? I don't remember his second name, Gal something, because been curious about it for a minute. Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna give that to myself. Like, no matter what time we go to bed, even if it's just a half hour, 45 minutes of you lying in your toasty warm bed and eating your dinner in there like a fucking pig. I don't eat in my bed, by the way. I just, no. But I'm like, I just wanna, because I know now it's Saturday, right? And I really want to hit the gym because I haven't done that. I'm going to hit the gym and then we'll be filming again. And then I'm going to see my friend, which I'm very happy to do. But then after that, it's just straight into work. So I know it's going to be very, very busy. Just having a pocket of peace, a moment where I just get to be with myself. Sometimes you got to fight for it, but fight for it with that masculine energy so that you can be in your feminine energy, even if it's just for 2-3 hours. I'm just gonna, no gaze, no needs, like, oh, you want me to be pretty for you? I'm not gonna be pretty for you. Oh, you want me to be your mother? I'm not gonna be your mother right now. Like, leave me alone. Sometimes you just gotta fight for it a little bit, and make it happen. Get that battery recharged. But yeah, big deep breaths and affirmations, because I've been running around. I want to give you guys some quality, and I didn't want to come here and be a hypocrite. In all of my points, like, very rarely will there be something that I don't fully practice myself. And before the video, I was like, I just need to breathe for a sec. And I was taking those pics downstairs, and I was like, should I just eat now because I'm hungry? And then I was like, no. I made a commitment to myself, and I value that. This is important that I get this done. I can do it. It's just affirmations. Affirmations sometimes. I can do this. I am capable. I am beautiful. I am radiant, even if I don't feel like it. I am powerful. I am doing an amazing job. It may not be perfect, but I'm doing amazing. And just giving that recognition and time and peace to yourself. It's so important. Sometimes when we're in our masculine, we are just breathing up here. And this is for anybody as well. You don't just have to be in your masculine, like you can just be feeling anxious or stressed, but we can just be kind of in our heads and just all up here, like thoughts and stress and headache. And just, if you can bring your energy down, really breathe into your belly. Pardon me. Charming, it's the Red Bull. Breathe into your belly, like really. Let the breath sit. Hold it. Slow out. You can kind of feel it, like brain feels more calm. I don't know if that's just me. Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Doesn't feel like it, doesn't look like it, but everything will be fine. It's all good. The last thing is to take care of what needs taking care of, but to be patient with yourself in the process of that. Sometimes it's super hard to unwind because we've been neglecting something that needs tending to. So in that case, what I would do is tend to it, yes, but don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself. Like, yes, you want to use the masculine frame of time management to assist you, but the last thing you need is more stress on your shoulders, more pressure, a deadline. Like, feminine energy doesn't do super well with deadlines, I'll tell you that. That's definitely more of a masculine thing. Try to be aware of the energy you treat yourself with behind what it is that you're doing. At times, when I'm at the gym or when I'm eating healthy, it's beneficial for me to be like, shut the fuck up, you don't actually need that, get the fuck up, go and pick up those weights and stop complaining like a little bitch, right? But most of the time, see, at the gym, well, to be honest, I'm more masculine. That's more the tone for me because I like to be mean to myself. It's very sexy for me. Like, it gets me in the zone. Crazy music. I like to feel like a man. I don't know why. Anyway. But I'll be honest, when I'm feeling weaker and I'm feeling more vulnerable and I'm PMSing or on my period and I don't feel like I can do it, I come in with some womanly, feminine kindness and I say, you can do it. You can do it. You are more than capable. You can do it. If you can't do it, then no one can, Like a little bit of gassing me up type of energy. But if I speak on the diet side of things, that sort of, more masculine, cold, hard way of being. A very like, it's just be disciplined, like just be disciplined, because you might notice like men tend to approach things like that, like, yeah, we'll just snap out of it, like it, maybe that's a toxic masculine thing. I'm not sure, is that just a toxic masculine thing? Maybe. But I think sometimes the way that men, okay, this is how we can sort of phrase it, the way that men deal with things is usually a very sort of get on with it type of mentality, or a yeah, but just do XYZ and you'll be fine. And that can be very helpful if you're a woman, absolutely. Sometimes you just sort of need that kick up the butt or the slap in the face and you'll be, and they're quite right. But sometimes that's not the approach we need as women or as feminine people, because we go by cycles, and what works for us one day might not work for us another day or another week. And understanding that you will need different languages, perhaps at times a softer, more loving, more nurturing approach in what it is that you're doing, that will actually strengthen your processes. I was, for example, coming at myself in, I guess, somewhat an abrasive or harsh manner, in a sort of self-punishing manner. When it came to my diet, it was just sort of like I'd be watching men on YouTube, for example, like Hamza, I don't know if you've heard of him, but he'd have this habit tracker. Now, don't get me wrong, I thoroughly still love a habit tracker, but I got into that very sort of like if I'm not doing this, I'm not going to succeed type of thinking. That's not true. That's not true. Let that project take 6 months. Let that project take 2 years. Postpone this thing to 7 months from now when you can actually give it your energy, because your energy is golden. If you are a more masculine person, then you would not be watching this video, because you wouldn't be burnt out by your use of masculine energy. But seeing as you are here and you are a more feminine leaning person, demanding 100% from yourself in every aspect of what it is that you're doing, that's very harsh. Those are very harsh conditions to operate in, to come from a punishing place, to not allow any sort of level of a sort of a holistic vibe. I think that's quite, it's quite harsh and not very warm and self-loving of you. And I think if we really break it down, is my light getting dim? I think so. Like, share, comment, and subscribe so that I can afford a better light. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just being cheeky. Look at it like this. If you had a child, or if you have a child, how would you nurture them? Would it be through harsh words, or would it be through empowering language? And just take a look at what it is that you've been neglecting in your life and help yourself. Use language that is helpful to you. Use time frames that are helpful to you. Support yourself. For me, I mean, the best example, did I drop chocolate on the floor? Oh my god, it's like I have ADHD right now, I'm so sorry. Just make it easy for yourself. Let the men be in the trenches. Let the men struggle and suffer with what it is that they were trying to achieve. Let them be like, in their mission, and like gamifying life to the max. And you, honey, you need some softness around you. So the way to do it is by making your processes more seamless. Just for me, don't buy the junk food. Don't buy it. I don't need the additional fight. I don't need the additional difficulty. YouTube, Vlogmas, for example. I am sad that I couldn't get everything out, but I said, I'll get it out when I get it out. I need to take care of myself. For me to bring value to people, I need a minute to breathe. And I also need to get my deadlines done for university. That is important. Look at what actually is a deadline, and the stuff that's not. Not that you forget about it, or that if it's something that's important to your maintenance that you just neglect it. No, but can you stretch the time? Can you make it easier for yourself? Can you get someone to help you in the process? Can you do it as a group, as a community? How can you make the processes more seamless and less punishing for yourself? You really want to think, how can I be less abrasive and aggressive towards myself in this process? Because I think it's easy to do. We think that it's necessary, but it's giving very like, what was that energy like in the 2010s where everyone's just like work, like workaholic, boss energy, and now everyone's like, oh my god, no, feminine energy only, I'm not gonna work ever. Like, everyone's swinging to the other extreme, or like, why I quit YouTube, or I'm leaving YouTube. But guys, it's not a crime to want to achieve things, and do it, being kind to yourself. You can do it. And yeah, guys, that's it. I think I've chatted for long enough. That is such a long video. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Thank you for bearing with me and my awful lighting. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. You're a star. And if you're burnt out, don't worry, honey, you'll get back on track. We all can. We're all capable. I just did it. And now I'm going to go take my pics, go for a shower, lie down in my toasty bed, eat my dinner, and have a little tub of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. You take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the